Welcome to the Stacked Supplement Podcast, the premier source for supplement news and reviews.
We are back with another edition of the Stack Supplement Podcast, rounding up all of the top stories and exciting announcements shared on our website from the past 7 days. We're going to start this episode off with a story that's related to what I'm aiming to have as our guest for an interview later this week, and that is the man behind PVL, or the CEO behind PVL, and it's related to the first story, as I mentioned, we're going to be talking about right now, and that is PVL's all-new pre-workout Dominate. So the brand has been teasing this supplement for quite some time. It was hyping it as one of its biggest launches to date, which is appropriate because it is a pre-workout, and if you're not all familiar with the industry, the pre-workout category is I would say a make or break space for a lot of brands. There are several companies out there that have built names on just pre-workouts. It's a category, I guess, to really shine. And it's almost a must-have category, with pre-workouts being as popular as protein powders, I would say. When a consumer comes shopping and they want to buy their whole stack from you, they'll obviously be going for things like essentials, aminos, and pre-workouts, and so it's ideal to have one in there. And PVL has introduced its big competitor for the space, again called Dominate, and it was hyped as being a fully dosed pre-workout, not like a laundry list of ingredients, but really well dosed, reliable, common ingredients, and that is what we've got. The supplement is built for comprehensive experience, like a lot of pre-workouts these days, and we always describe that as something that has ingredients for energy, focus, pumps, and performance. That is what you get in PVL's Dominate. Some of its star ingredients include 600 milligrams of tyrosine to help with focus, Aquamin premium minerals for hydration. You get 3.2 grams of beta-alanine for performance, and citrulline malate is in there as well, as I guess the star of the show and the biggest dosed ingredient in there at 8 grams per full serving. And so it's a pretty robust, pretty well-rounded pre-workout from PVL, coming through as promised. But it's the other thing that PVL was hyping for Dominate in the launch of Dominate was a good deal. So if you signed up, we shared it earlier a few weeks back, I think a couple of months back, PVL put up a page on its website where you could sign up to be notified when the product became available, and if you signed up, you'd also get a pretty solid introductory deal, or a couple of introductory deals. And so they did deliver on that. So the deal, I'm not sure if it's still available now, but if you go to the website, type in Dominate or PVL, you get links to it. And so it's a Canadian company. Sorry if I didn't mention that, but so Dominate comes in a 12 half serving, so it's like full serving tube, and each of those servings comes in a single serving stick packs. So it's 12 little sticks, and 2 of those get you the full serving, so that full 8 grams of citrulline malate. So that's $29.99. Pretty sure that's Canadian dollars. And then you have the regular size tub of Dominate that has 20 full servings or 40 half servings, and that's $59.99. So obviously much better value than the stick packs. Now neither of those are the deals. Neither of those involve any deals when you're buying just the one. Where the deals come in is if you buy 2 tubs, PVL throws in a free towel, a shaker, and a 12 serving tube of Dominate, and you save, on top of all of those freebies, you save $10. So it's essentially $5 less each tub of Dominate. And then there's an even bigger one with a triple tub pack, which drops it down to even lower, from that 60 Canadian down to 45 per tub. So it's, again, an even bigger saving. You get all those freebies, but instead of the shaker being plastic, it's a more premium steel shaker. So it's a pretty solid introductory deals dropping down when you get that 2 and the 3 tub combo. But again, you can just head to the website. I believe it's a dedicated site to gain access, and of course those deals are limited. Not sure if they're still live, but they were live when we shared the launch last week. So yeah, it was a big launch, as promised by PVL, and now we're moving on to a fellow Canadian company in Pharma Freak. Now, if you've been following the stories on Pharma Freak over the past few months, the Red Label series has been a frequent feature of the brand. So what the Red Label series is, it's separate from the brand's black branded stuff and its regular yellow branded stuff. It's an entirely new series that Alex, the man behind Pharma Freak, said was, I guess, more on a personal kind of level. It's said to be, I guess, a line of supplements that focuses on hybrid and multi-benefit combinations that he himself uses and relies on. Over the past few weeks and months, we've seen a few previews and sneak peeks of some of those supplements in the Red Label series. I believe there's going to be 5 in total. That's what we were told. And one of those that was previously previewed was a supplement called Supersonic Freak. All we kind of knew was that it would be a pre-workout to enhance focus and pumps. And we knew that it was going to include other benefits, or it might include other benefits, but that was kind of where it ended. Last week we got an interesting update, and essentially the brand previewed, I would say, like a 5% more of the tub or the box that it comes in, and it's confirmed a very interesting detail about Supersonic Freak, and that is it's going to have 2 products or 2 supplements inside the one box. As to what those 2 supplements are, we don't quite know yet, but it is also promoting itself as a customizable experience. Very similar to what Massive Iron teased for its upcoming pre-workout. It's said to be a customizable experience, and 2 products are going to be playing the part here. And so we can obviously speculate as to what that might mean, but my best guess is because it's on the label, it says it enhances pumps and focus. My suspicion is they've split that up, and you obviously have the 2 products. You got one that helps with the focus and one that helps with the pumps, and maybe each of those has other benefits, with the focus also helping with energy, and then the pumps also helping with performance, which is something you typically get with supplement companies these days. They'll put together a pre-workout that's more energy and focus driven, and less pump and performance, and you get another supplement that you can kind of stack that bridges the gap and combines for the ultimate experience. That kind of seems what Pharma Freak might be putting together here, with a nice mix of both worlds. We don't really know what else is there, what else is in it, just those 2 small details. I'm excited to kind of see what more we can find out about this. I like the idea that putting the 2 products in the one box. And the Red Label series is really shaping up to be quite an interesting launch for Pharma Freak. I believe Supersonic Freak is not due to arrive for another few months, so there's still a long way to go and there's still a wait. But the fact that I guess Pharma Freak's come out and shared this information, we're probably going to get a bit of a drip feed of information leading up to the big launch of that one. For the next story, we're going to shoot over to Europe. And as far as news and announcements go, we didn't get too many big ones last week compared to other weeks in the year. But there were 2 major brands out in Europe that kind of shined through, mostly because they dropped a whole lot of releases rather than the one or 2 here and there. So first up, we'll talk about MyProtein. So MyProtein, obviously international giant that can be purchased from almost anywhere in the world, and a line of supplements that I would say might be the largest in the world as well, or if not close. So firstly, MyProtein came out with what is called the Shimmer series. And what the Shimmer series is it's a line of special edition blue raspberry flavors for 3 separate supplements. So MyProtein has put together a blue raspberry flavor for Clear Whey Isolate, Clear Vegan Protein, which is the plant-based version, I guess, of Clear Whey Isolate, and then it's also introduced an all-new supplement called Clear Collagen, and it's introduced that supplement with a blue raspberry Shimmer series flavor. And Clear Collagen is an entirely new supplement, so unlike those other 2 that have been out and available before, Clear Collagen is an all-new one, but it's as straightforward as those other 2. It's basically a straightforward collagen supplement with 18 grams of protein coming from collagen peptides per serving. But again, that's not where it ends. To go with the Shimmer series, MyProtein's also introduced the crispy layered protein bar, which is, if you're a MyProtein fan, you'll know the brand has a product called the layered protein bar, which is true to the name. It's a protein snack with different layers of texture, flavor, and so on, combining for a nice, enjoyable protein snack experience. Now, the crispy layered bar is kind of similar. I'm pretty sure it doesn't have as many layers. I thought the layered bar had like 5 or 6. This one has 4 if you count on the outside. So there's a light and crispy base layer, then you've got a gooey layer, and then you've got a sort of a doughy, and then you've got the chocolate coating on the outside. But I guess the whole idea is pretty much in the name. It's more of a light and crispy layered protein bar compared to that original layered protein bar. There are 2 flavors available in chocolate peanut and chocolate caramel, each having different mixes of taste and textures in the various layers. And the macros, 16 grams of protein, 21 grams of carbs, 2 grams or less of sugar, 8.7 fat, 206 calories. So it's not as high in protein as your typical protein snack at that 20-22 range, but the calories are in that ballpark area around 206. And that product is available now on MyProtein's website alongside the Shimmer series. And we're going to close off with one more bit of news from MyProtein, and which this one is actually pretty cool. It is MyProtein's, also this is on top of all those other things, it's released 4 beverages. Now, these were all pretty cool to see, I think, and a little bit of detail to go over them. But the first one is vegan protein water. Now, that is a product the brand has had out before. However, the new development or release regarding that supplement is that MyProtein has put together a sparkling canned version. So it's kind of intended to be similar to the original protein RTD, the vegan protein water, which is like a light, refreshing, high protein drink. But now they've turned it into a canned product. It's again sparkling, so it's essentially just a sparkling canned version of the vegan protein water. It does have less protein, however, per can, so you only get 6 grams from hydrolyzed pea protein, although it's pretty clean everywhere else, with 0 fat, only 1.9 grams of carbs and 33 calories. And there is, I believe it is 2 flavors to choose from in lemon, lime, and strawberry, so it's continuing that vegan protein water, even that clear vegan protein theme of being refreshing and fruit flavors compared to your typical chocolate, vanilla, and cookies and cream and so on. As I said, there are 4 beverages, new beverages from MyProtein. The other 3 are kind of all interlinked. They fall under what MyProtein calls its My Vitamins brand. It's essentially a health and wellness line of products from MyProtein. And it's introduced, I believe it's 4, actually, so it's not 3, it's 4 products altogether, and they're called Defense, Glow, Recharge, and Focus. Now, these are also sparkling beverages that come in the canned format. They're sparkling waters. They all feature a very similar blend of vitamins and minerals, in addition to, I think it's like 1 or 2 other ingredients, depending on the product, to really separate them from the other one. So, for example, you got Defense is built to support your immune system. It's got added white tea alongside that multivitamin blend. Glow has hyaluronic acid and grapeseed, so it's intended more for like a beauty, skin kind of experience. And then you have Recharge, which has added ginseng in the mix. And then there's Focus, which combines that multivitamin blend with lion's mane, or the nootropic lion's mane, to help with focus, as the name suggests. So they're all kind of a similar series or similar family of beverages, with that main ingredient really being the differentiating factor that helps, I guess, deliver that title or deliver that kind of benefit mentioned in the name. So yeah, you can check out all of those MyProtein releases. Again, they definitely were busy. We tried to get them all out. We wanted to make sure we focused on each one and share details on each of them. So just go to the website, type in MyProtein, you should come up with all the latest releases. But yeah, it was a pretty big week, and it's all a part of the Impact Week, I believe, for MyProtein, which is sort of their week-long celebration of discounts or impact, I guess. And you were I'm not sure if it's still live now, but you're able to use the coupon code IMPACT and get like a whole bunch of discount on various products, including those special edition ones. But you can check them all out on our website. But moving on to the other European brand that kind of blew out with a whole bunch of new products. Well, not a whole bunch, but more than one. And that was Got7 Nutrition, who's been one of our favorite functional brands ever since we were introduced to them years ago at FIBO. It's, for those unfamiliar, it's a German brand available throughout Europe and the UK. And they kind of, I like how they've always walked a fine line between protein snacks and sort of just health snacks. And health snacks, I mean, sort of low sugar products that focus more on just being low calorie, low sugar, kind of like skinny foods approach. Not so much worrying about protein, just low sugar, healthier alternatives. And Got7's always walked that line. It's always had a blend of moderate to high protein, and then moderate to kind of health angles where it's just had low sugar. Some products are just low sugar, snacking alternatives to similar foods. And so this past week, Got7 has come out with 3 products essentially. The first 2 are spin-offs of its solid block of chocolate, which is, again, much like I was saying, more of a functional health alternative. It's a block of chocolate with no added sugar, and the brand released it last year in 2 flavors. It was a milk chocolate, both milk chocolate based. One had almonds in it, one had hazelnuts. This past week, Got7 introduced 2 white chocolate versions, so they're both blocks of chocolate but white chocolate. And instead of putting nuts in them, they throw in fruit, which I think is a great fit because white chocolate always comes off sweeter, and it kind of fits nicely with that refreshing, light, fruity taste that you can get with these things. And so they released 2 white chocolate flavors of their block of chocolate, still continuing that no added sugar, low calorie kind of theme. There is kiwi, so one has bits of freeze-dried kiwi in it, and then the other one has bits of freeze-dried strawberry. The one other product that Got7 has come out with outside of the blocks of chocolate is a protein bar called Triple Chocolate, or the Triple Chocolate protein bar. Now this is very much on the other end of the scale that I was explaining, kind of what Got7 does. It does health snacks, alternative foods, and then it also does protein products, and this is one of those. It is a high protein snack filled with 21 grams of protein, which is right around that typical mark of most protein bars. It also has that reasonable balance of calories at 218, 19 grams of carbs, less than 2 grams of sugar, and 7.9 grams of fat. And it is really intended to be a chocolate overload. So it's, again, the name kind of says it enough. It's called the Triple Chocolate Protein Bar, and it is indeed a chocolate powerhouse. It has a crispy, light, chocolatey base, and then it's got a more of a doughy layer on top of that, and then you got all that wrapped in chocolate. So each of those, of course, chocolate flavored, making for that name, Triple Chocolate Protein Bar. And it is one of Got7's more protein packed snacks with 21 grams of protein, and I believe it is out and available now at retailers in Germany, in its home country of Germany, but it is just released, so I would suspect that retailers outside of Germany, or even some of the others in the country, will be getting it over the next few weeks, so be on the lookout for it if you're in that part of the world. But again, so as I said, definitely those 2 European brands did not hold back last week with a lot of excitement from the continent. And the next story we have, actually we've got 2 stories we're going to close this episode with. The first one comes from RivalUs, or what is now called Rival Nutrition. It's a long-running supplement company that's well known for its protein powders, specifically Promacil. And the big news out of Rival Nutrition, as I said, is it's now called Rival Nutrition, not RivalUs, and it has completely changed its branding. So if you head to the website, type in Rival or Rival Nutrition or RivalUs, you will get a good look at what the brand's new look looks like. It is quite a bit different from that of the previous one. It still maintains a bit of that orange that RivalUs was known for. It's not as much. It's now mostly black design, which was also a part of the previous look, but it's now, I guess, more black driven, black dominant. And the brand has previewed the new look on 3 of its protein powders: Promacil, Clean Gainer, and Rival Whey. And while it has only previewed the look on those supplements, it will be expanding that look and rebrand across to the rest of its lineup. But as you know, or as you may be familiar with, when these big brands do rebrands, it's not something that's very easy or instant. As we saw Core Nutritionals go through last year, it was kind of rebranding product by product. And I imagine that there's going to be a similar kind of case for Rival Nutrition. Again, it has said it's going to roll out the rebrand across the whole lineup, which is going to also come with new flavors and all new products. So it's going to be sort of a very much like what Core went through, where it rebranded, maybe changed, maybe introduced some new things. I get the sense that's what we're in for with Rival Nutrition. And the branding itself, or the look of the packaging, it is intended to be more than just a look. If you go on the site and check it out, one of the things Rival Nutrition wanted to do was make it clearer with or at least make it each of its supplements' key benefits and differences clear. So on the packaging, it's made key details clearer, more obvious, and that kind of makes sense when you're talking about, as I said, it's previewed the rebrand on 3 protein powders, and that's a very important thing to do, to highlight those differences and key points, specifically when you have so many competitors in one category, not many, but more than one. Fans, people who are just new to the category and new to supplements, are going to be wondering, I want to buy a protein powder, they see they got 3. It is best to make it as clear as possible what the differentiating factors are and how they separate from one another, and the benefits that they provide, and it helps people figure out which one is right for them. And so it's a pretty cool move from Rival Nutrition. It'd be cool to see them expand it across to the rest of the lineup and kind of include that clearer, more obvious approach. But you can check that out on the website. And the last story we have is more of a celebration, and one that I thought was really cool to see, especially because it's the brand that won our Newcomer of the Year award last year, and that is Glaxon. So Glaxon launched, I'm trying to remember now, it wasn't last year, it was 2019, so it was near the end of 2019, November, December. Glaxon came to market, debuted with a whole bunch of supplements, the closest or the biggest I had seen since maybe Redcon 1, when they debuted with, was it 13? Was it 11 or 13? It was something like that. It was more than 10. It was pretty impressive. Most companies launch with 3. Redcon 1 did it with a lot, and Glaxon did the same. I don't think it was as many, but it was a very diverse mix, and it was very impressive, and it kind of showed that Glaxon was meant business right out of the gate. And then throughout 2020, despite the pandemic, Glaxon did not slow down. It was releasing product after product. It was releasing flavor after flavor. It did special editions, and it still continues that into this year. And it was mostly because of that consistency and that excitement and that development that we awarded Glaxon our Newcomer of the Year award. But so the big news out of Glaxon is that you can now purchase Glaxon's flagship pre-workout specimen from GNC's online store. This is usually a development or a step or a partnership you see much further down the road. Things have changed obviously a little bit over the past few years, and but it's a big move from Glaxon. Again, the company is only about a year and a half old, still very new in our eyes, and I guess to see that partnership is pretty cool. From seeing the brand being born and growing, and now doing this, it's cool to see. And again, Newcomer of the Year award, which is still hard to believe. The company has just made itself known so well and so much. You get to I don't know, it's been an impressive ride, and obviously we're only a year and a half in, so the company has many years to come, I guess infinite years to come, essentially. But the version of specimen at GNC's is the regular specimen, not to be confused with the specimen yo-yo, which is Glaxon's more intense pre-workout with more simulation and yohimbine in the mix, hence the name specimen yo-yo. And it's also not the GFY edition that Glaxon recently released, which is again an even more intense supplement and exclusive to brick and mortar retailers. But so I'm also interested to see where that goes, to see what other supplements GNC eventually picks up, if they move in store, if they expand online. It's a pretty cool move, pretty big move. And even though we are 5 months into the year, I still feel like it's pretty early into the year, but it's a pretty cool move to see in what is essentially Glaxon's second year in business. As always, you can check out all the news, updates, developments on the website. We also, again, have that interview coming later this week, fingers crossed, with Jim, the man behind PVL. I'm aiming to have that recorded early in this week, so it should be out Thursday, Friday. But once again, thank you for tuning in, and look forward to having you back again next time.